hybrid service the next time around. Tonight we're welcoming our co-congregation from Detroit and having a larger sanctuary service together, so we decided to do it this way. I think we kind of told the Detroit crew what we're up to, so we want to we often begin with a couple of deep breaths as just a way to breathe out the garbage of the week, and there's always plenty of it, and just breathe in some peacefulness and joy and gratitude. For us, some welcoming, and for Detroit, some hopefully good feelings with being with us tonight. If you haven't met Brian, I think he's my husband. He's also, I think, my job security because he's our in-house musician and will be singing for us. He and my son put this version of Shehechianu together this year. And because it's the first time in a very long time that we've been together, we'll join for beginning Shabbat with a Shehechianu, which is a reflection on the gratitude of this wonderful time of being able to celebrate together. On the song sheet, join in as you figure it out.
Quick sound check. Can you hear me okay?
You're a little low, I think. Do you want to boost him if needed? You start, we'll boost you if needed. We did, it should be.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Blessed is the source of life that inspires us and sustains us and brings us to this time, this time, this time.
Rabbi Bar and I introduced ourselves, but it didn't occur to me that for those of us from Beth Adam, we haven't met Jeffrey Falick yet, the rabbi from the Detroit congregation. So Rabbi Falick, we are very lucky to have to help lead services tonight, so it's not just my voice. So come on over.
Thank you all so much for your hospitality. Thank you, Rabbi Worker.
That's two.
That's two. She told me to stop saying thank you all the time. It's exactly the opposite of what my mom said. 6 days we speak. Tonight we listen. 6 days we build. Tonight we rest. 6 days we take care of others. Tonight we nurture ourselves. 6 days we work to change our world. Tonight we are renewed by what is eternal. 6 days we plan for the future. Tonight we are enveloped in the presence. 6 days we eat and drink in haste. Tonight we savor the taste of bread and wine and feel the bond of the world that feeds us. 6 days we teach. Tonight we learn. 6 days we hear the clamor. Tonight we listen for clarity. 6 days we struggle to expand our influence. Tonight we are dissolved in a greater influence. 6 days we focus our vision on the task at hand. Tonight we look beyond what we can see. May each of us find our Shabbat peace.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom.
Tonight, we cross the threshold of this chapel to enter a sanctuary free from the demands of our everyday lives. Today, we step away from our daily routines in an attempt to gain perspective on where we have been and where we are going. At other times, in other places, we may feel fragile and alone. Yet here, we join together to find strength, to build community, as we look with wonder at the universe and seek our place within its vastness. To this place we come to lengthen our perspective. To this place we come to question and explore. In this place we awaken our imaginations. In this place we draw strength as we allow ourselves to dream. Together we share the challenge of an ever-changing world, a world often beyond our control, incomprehensible and frightening. Together, we seek to find meaning, ease our fears, understand our purpose. Together, we share the burden and the blessing of responsibility. Tonight, we join together in the safety of community as we reflect on our Jewish heritage. Tonight, we join together in the bond of community as we celebrate the Sabbath.
Hine matovu manai, shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matovu manai, shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov, hine matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine matov.
Detroit, you're lucky you have a rabbi that sings. It might be good that you're a few hours away because I could be in trouble otherwise. We're going to jump now to the candles on page 4 and invite our two presidents to lead us in reflection, Sam and Arthur. I think. And Elaine.
So bottom, oh, here we go, okay. You want to do the first section?
Okay, I'll read it. Night seeps up from the ground, light falls from the stars, distant, icy, ancient beyond all who came before.
But the light of the Sabbath is warm. The light of the Sabbath is ours. The light of the Sabbath is of this time, of this place, of lives that know the past only in a dream.
As we kindle these lights,
We create a place of warmth. As we kindle these lights,
as we kindle these lights,
and while these lights burn, the time is ours.
Are you comfortable with these? Okay.
so directly on.
Yep. I don't know why every synagogue feels we have to use these.
Here,
Yep, got it.
there we go.
Baruch
Ha'or ba'olam, blessed is the light within the world. Baruch Ha'or ba'adam, blessed is the light within each person. Baruch Ha'or ba'Shabbat, blessed is the light of the Sabbath.
Thank you both. Let's read this responsively by paragraph, even though it doesn't have italics. We're not rule followers. May I discover the ability to feel the pain of others, work for others, among others, and there come to feel a part of that to which I belong. May I discover the ability to be alone so that I can go out of doors each day, among the flowers and the trees, among the birds and all that live, beneath the sky of stars and planets, and there come to feel a part of that to which I belong. May I discover the ability to sit in silence so that I may hear not the voice of others, but my own voice, the beat of my heart, the sound of my breath, the utterance of my soul, and here come to feel a part of that to which I belong. And may we all on this evening discover the ability to take those deep breaths, to enjoy the richness and the peacefulness and the joyfulness of celebrating Shabbat together. We will take a few moments to reflect on what that looks like and feels like for each of us, and then we will join in Let There Be Love on your song sheet. For those from Beth Adam, we told you we would be working on the Hebrew piece, and we finally have that ready with some thanks to Jordan Finken, so we'll have a Hebrew part as well for you to begin to learn with us. First, a few moments in silent reflection.
Understanding among us, let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu benachat ruchenu. Ashkivenu leshalom. V'ha'amidenu kulanu letova. Ufros aleinu sukat hashalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Turn to the bottom of page 6, please. The ground reaches up to support us like an outstretched hand as we take our first step. The limbs of the tree surround us like a parent's loving embrace. The breeze touches our cheek with the warmth of a lover's kiss. The water cleanses our body as our tears cleanse our soul. The stars illuminate our spirit as friendships brighten our lives. We feel warmth in the sunlight as Earth nurtures her children. Nature, the ultimate force that drives evolution, not only from species to species over time, but from one moment to the next. At times, we seek exposure to the elements of our world. At other times, we look for shelter. We depend upon this force for sustaining our lives and carrying our children forward into their future. Appreciation of our dependence upon nature humbles us. As we pause to see the beauty of nature, we touch the eternal in our world. We continue with Eternity Utters a Day on the handout. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind, joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. And eternity utters a day. Eternity utters a day. Lie, 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 lie,
lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie, lie.
We are not our ancestors. The events of history have shaped our vision. The glorious as well as the tragic have colored our view. Our ancestors' words, ideas, and beliefs cannot always bring us comfort, for our ancestors never could have imagined the world in which we live. Never could they have imagined the changes that have taken place. Yet across the span of time, our ancestors' words reach out to us. Their words challenge us, call us to action, remind us of our past, and inspire us for the future. Building upon the words they offered in their time, we seek to create our own vision. Your job is the English on these. Ki tatzur el ir yamim rabim lehilachem aleha letafsa, lo tashkit et etza. When you besiege a city for a long time, you must not destroy its trees. You may eat of them, but you must not cut them down. Tiv'o shel olam eino mishtaneh. The nature of the world does not change. Badivarim hamuchrachim v'hativiyim ein busha ba'asiyatam. The essential and natural things, of doing these, one should not be ashamed. Hillel omer, al tifros min hatzibor. Hillel said, do not separate yourself from the community. Hu haya omer, lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, v'lo ata ben korin lihibatel mimena. Rabbi Tarfon said, it is not up to us to complete the task, but we are not free to desist from it. Hillel omer, uvamakom she'en anashim, hishtadel lihiot ish. Hillel said, in a place where there is no humanity, strive to be human. It is up to each one of us to be informed and to consider carefully. But ideas are inert if they are not infused with life through acts of love and kindness. To know where we stand is crucial. To act is to be counted. Together, may the visions of our dreams and the wishes of our hearts be fulfilled.
Caught without shelter in media showers, nervous attempts to feel connected, pressed into service in a workaday world made strangers to our own rhythm, our true medium. Not a race against time, but an endless flow of new possibilities. Not a fixed point in the universe, after all, but an ongoing discourse between nature and itself. Shabbat beckons us each week to find our own rhythms, if only for a day, to cherish this moment without thoughts of what's next, to reveal ourselves, gleaning the chosen from the imposed, to determine what we want and what we need, and so each week to make ourselves whole, if only for a day.
We have one further reflection to add because our world so desperately needs it, and that is our hopes and our dreams and our somehow still held belief that the world can be more peaceful and that we can bring peace into the world. It's been a long time now where our hearts turn toward Israel, toward Gaza, now also toward Damascus, to the Druze communities that are living in fear there. But we can name any continent, we can name so many places. We may also have that feeling within our own hearts where we're seeking peace. So I decided to keep a reflection brief at some of my favorite words by the poet Yehuda Amichai, which you may be familiar with. And he said, referring to the biblical verse about beating swords into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks, Yehuda Amichai says, don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. And so with that dream that feels far away and yet we are compelled to still have, we join in Na'aseh Shalom, we will make peace.
Na'aseh shalom ba'olam, na'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol ha'olam, v'maru shalom, na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Thank you, Brian. We are, I don't know, I was going to say we're really lucky, but 3 rabbis in a room, I don't know if it's lucky to people or not. But we are really lucky that Rabbi Bar has joined us tonight. Rabbi Bar took emeritus status in the last year, as I had the wonderful fortune of joining this community. But we're really lucky that he's still involved and was really excited to join us tonight to welcome our new Detroit friends here. We debated what to do with this time. Often in our services, we talk a little about something and then have a conversation as opposed to a formal sermon. Once in a while we do something different. And we debated, what am I going to talk about? And the answer became, I'm not. I sort of am. We decided that Rabbi Bar has these years of knowledge and wisdom connected to this place, and Rabbi Falik and I are both taking over these historic congregations in our own ways. So we're going to have Rabbi Bar facilitate a conversation with us and maybe contribute some of your thoughts as well, and just give an opportunity to answer what may be some of your questions, and then that conversation can continue after services if we would like it to. Ready? We got to set up.
It really is wonderful. I have to say, you know, sometimes in the Jewish world we oftentimes feel alone and isolated, and being together in a community, 2 communities together, sharing a voice. We have history, we've talked shared history and shared connections. So it's really magical, and I'm so glad that Rabbi Falik, that you thought to do this, and that you, the members of the congregation in Detroit. If I say Birmingham Double, please, I apologize. I've been you know, it's sort of imprinted.
Really long name.
It's imprinted on. So what I want to do is to give each of you, and I'll pass the microphone in a moment, to just a brief introduction, because the Beth and Am members don't know Rabbi Falik, and the Detroit members don't necessarily know Rabbi Werber, so I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to know each other. So I'm going to start with Rabbi Falik, if you'll.
Sure. Hello, everybody, and thank you again for your hospitality. I know I'm not supposed to say thank you anymore, but I really do appreciate it. I told her 3 acts we get at least in baseball, and I know that my friends from the Birmingham Temple, if you will, are very, very grateful too. I have been at the congregation now I'm finishing my 12th year, so that's actually not so new anymore. And of course, Sherwin Wine, Rabbi Sherwin Wine, who was the founder of Humanistic Judaism, was the founding rabbi of our congregation back in 1963. I learned about this movement in rabbinical school right here in Cincinnati. I was ordained in 1989. I didn't really think much about it, but over time, as my life began to change and evolve, and I found myself not really working in the sort of liturgical world of Judaism. I was at a JCC, that I needed something more. And one day out of the blue, Rabbi Wine called me, and he said, I heard that you were interested in humanistic Judaism. We agreed we would talk, and unfortunately, we never did because he died tragically before his time in an accident on a trip he was taking. So that was that for me. A couple years later, I checked out the place and the movement at a colloquium that was taking place in Detroit. And I met some of the other rabbis and some of the congregants, and I just became a member of the Association of Humanistic Rabbis for fun and for my own enrichment. Little did I know that my life circumstances would take me back there sometime later to serve as the rabbi. And it's a very, very good fit for me. I've had a wonderful time there. You know, I know the Beth Adam congregants are wonderful. I will have to add to that there are wonderful humanistic Jews in the greater Detroit area. I am so really, really, really blessed to have these wonderful congregants. They are so committed to this philosophy of ours, and they have kept this congregation going and growing. We're actually a little bit up from where we were when I started, which is nice. And that's my story.
Thank you. I don't even know the question anymore. Introduce myself.
Please, who are you?
Hi.
Why are you sitting in front of us?
Why am I here? I'm Lauren Werber. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio in a Reformed congregation. Also, I think we're all HUC. I know we're all HUC Cincinnati ordinees. I interned here my last year of rabbinical school. I had a baby and didn't want to travel or write a thesis. So that year led me to be here for a year, and it was really, as this community knows, a foundation for how I viewed things as I went into two congregations before coming here. So I was in Reformed congregations until about a year ago when I came here. This was the greatest job I didn't know I wanted until it opened up. And it's turned out to be just, on my end, a perfect match for the things I want to be doing in a way I want to be doing them with people who want to take an active role in who we are and what we're doing. So I'm still, I've learned some ropes, I'm learning a whole lot of ropes, and I don't know if I'll ever learn them all, but it's a great place to be doing it.
Great, thank you. And afterwards, you have a chance to ask more questions during our own egg. So what is special about the two of you is you both inherited congregations from a founding rabbi. So, and Rabbi Wine had a particular way of creating the Birmingham Temple and the liturgy of the congregation and how he saw it. I very much the same, working with the members of Beth Adam. And both of you come out of, you brought experiences that certainly I never had. Literally the only services I've ever led are here at Beth Adam. And Rabbi Wine had been at the Birmingham Temple for decades. So I'm curious, Rabbi Falik, you come out of the JCC and Hillel movement, having those experiences. Rabbi Werber, you served in a Reformed congregation. How do you bring those things with you, and how do you think they're infusing your rabbinance and changing or shaping or adding to, I think, the congregations that you're leading?
Well, if you're talking strictly liturgically, when I first started, I basically used Sherwin's his template, and then over time I started to bring in my own readings, and over time I started to bring in songs a lot of songs that were just out there in the world that I'd learned at Hillel, that I'd learned at traditional congregations that I went to. My children are traditional, so the liturgical part, I think that falls together. I don't think it's the main thing that we do. It's a half an hour a week, and then I talk. I do talk a lot. I talk. Well, you know, I used to have a lot of speakers, a lot of guest speakers. And for years I would say, I think I'm going to start taking on more of this on my own. And then I sort of ran out of guest speakers. So my wish came true. I don't know if it was a wish I wanted to come true, but I do talk a lot on Friday nights. If there's time that's taken up by the service, it's me doing that. But what mattered to me more than any of the liturgical pieces or anything else is that I was in a place that we saw the world the same way. Now that doesn't mean we agree on everything. We disagree on many, many things. And as time goes by, I discover more things that we disagree upon, but that's actually a good thing because it represents independent thinking. As long as we're not taking it from a place of ancient authority or even current authoritarianism, then I think that we're doing it right. Humanism, and I think specifically humanistic Judaism, requires us to, you know, sort of dig into a tradition that doesn't always speak to us. And yet we love it and we embrace it. It's our heritage, it's our culture, it's who we are in many ways, but it's not only who we are. And we want to tap into those universal values, those things that make the world a better place. And that's what I found at our congregation. There wasn't a lot of, I'm allowed to say whatever I want here, right? There wasn't a lot of bullshit, right? And right? What you said, right? We could, yeah. There wasn't a lot of silliness about, you know, where do we come from? What are they? The purpose of life, our people have already figured it out. It's to find your purpose in life. And that's universal among all of our congregation. I assume it's universal among yours too. And that's what I really treasure about being part of this movement, this philosophy, whatever you want to call it, because that's what I find with each individual. We grapple with what it means to be a human being, unbelievably insignificant in the universe, and yet, as you said before, quoting Sagan, made of star stuff, which is also unbelievably inspiring and awesome. And to be able to have that mix in a congregation that doesn't attribute it all to fantasy and illusion, which is what the texts tend to do because they were written at a time of that, that's what mattered so much to me, and that's what they keep giving me over and over again. So as a rabbi, that's what I get from them, and it's what I was looking for.
So my path and experience, I think, are a little bit different. I came out of a Reform upbringing and then through Reform congregations where I had wonderful experiences. And yeah, me too, right. But our founding rabbis, different paths and different responses to them. So, although you were deeply involved in your congregation growing up, I think, right? Your conservative congregation, no?
I dropped out after my bar mitzvah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then I went back.
Yeah, but you went back, yeah.
I went back.
Yeah, you went back. So, so I came here concerned actually about my practice and whether it would fit within Beth Adam, and we talked a lot about that in the process. Deciding if we really treated it as, is this a match? Not is Beth Adam good enough or am I good enough, but is this a match? And that was a topic of conversation. I think I'm the only Kippah wearer in the room, right? Which people were nervous about for a week or two and then realized that, realized it makes no difference in terms of where we match each other, right? The Hashkivenu that we did tonight, for example, would be one of the things that's different because of where I came from into the community. So that's the Hebrew is an adaptation of the traditional Hashkivenu prayer because I wanted to bring some of those sounds and that music into the services, which isn't something that Beth Adam did often. So I think there are certain things in that way that I have a very positive view of. And then a sense of our place in community that may or may not be a little bit different. And where we fit in the larger community and where I am and I'm not comfortable in that community, I think is a little bit different because I was embedded in a different institution for a long time. But I do find it, I thought I would miss things that I have not missed for half a second. I thought there would be a certain grieving process for what I was giving up in order to take on something that was meaningful in different ways and more important ways to me. And it turns out there hasn't been, it was worth the grieving process, but it hasn't happened. It's just been liberating and energizing and wonderful to be able to be creating something together.
Great.
5 minutes?
Okay, rabbis, we can fill an hour if you'd like, or two.
I can fill an hour.
Yeah, wait, 3 hours, 3 rabbis, no waiting. Name it. You know, we can. Oh, I got a great idea. We can make this sermon improv. Yell out a topic, and then we all give. Oh,
Somebody bid on it, and I have an hour to write it.
oh, wow. So that'd be fun. We could do that. Okay, but I digress, which I have never ever digressed before. Those of you who've been members of Beth Adam, I've never gone off topic. I have never changed what I was doing in midstream. But I'm trying to get. Oh, I know where I was. Thank you. So. We were before this, we turned the stream on, and before everybody walked in, we were talking about sizes of the Jewish community in Cincinnati, sizes of the Jewish community in Detroit, and we as Jews tend to always worry about that. Are we a shrinking population? Are we a disappearing population? Will there be another generation? And we're also struggling with what Jewish community looks like. There's a lot of, you know, being in the Hillel and the JCC, we're a lot of tension and a lot of push and pull, and who's authentic, and who represents real Judaism, and who's a real Jew, and all those questions. Why do you think what we're doing is so crucially important for the Jewish community now and into the future? Because we have a very specific voice that isn't always appreciated, and I'm curious, I mean, you both made big decisions to leave where you were, to take on new responsibilities, to give voice to Judaism, which clearly I think is essential. I'm curious why you both think it's essential.
So I began my career in Hillel. I began my career here at Rabbi A.B. Ingber's Hillel for 2 years. This is where I did my internship. And then I went out into the world of Hillel, University of Illinois, University of Miami in Florida. And I discovered there all the different kinds of pluralism of voices and ideas and ways of being Jewish, and yes, a lot of judgmentalism, but also a lot of openness. I remember going to a service at an Orthodox synagogue later on and hearing Reform tunes, asking, where did you get that from? Oh, our kid brought it back from campus. And the same thing happening at a Reform temple. When I went to work at a JCC, and I was there quite a long time, there I discovered even broader voices, secular Jews, Jews who were quote-unquote unaffiliated. And I realized this is a very big place, this Jewish world. It's not just my Reform temple growing up. It's not even just any congregation or any synagogue kind of organization. It's a really big place. Now, that said, we've got a lot of ideas. And Judaism's always lent itself to having those ideas, debating those ideas, challenging everything from God to ritual to why is the world the way it is? And I think that the humanistic idea, this non-theistic idea, Sherwin decided it was called humanistic Judaism, but it's really non-theistic Judaism. I know we don't like to always say that because it's not a positive thing, but that's what it is. It's this non-theistic idea that the world is a natural place. The universe, however it was created, certainly wasn't created by any kind of deity. And we're not going to pray to anybody. Nobody's going to give us anything. No one's going to answer our prayers. Well, a lot of Jews believe that. Now, not all of them believe that they need to do that, express that, study about that in a synagogue, but there does seem to be an audience for it. My congregation, your congregation, we're proof of that. We need in the Jewish community as many places as we can possibly have for different ways of plugging into our heritage. It is a wide, huge, ancient heritage. It contradicts itself every step along the way, even if you go back in time, and certainly up till today, and that's part of the beauty of it, and that's what I find special about my opportunity to work in this little corner of it, but without giving up my attachment to the rest of the Jewish world. I am very connected to Am Yisrael. In fact, it's probably the most important part of my Jewishness. I have an Orthodox daughter and son-in-law and 2 Orthodox grandchildren. I have a very secular but extraordinarily Jewishly involved daughter and apparently soon son-in-law in November. And they're all part of the Jewish world. And we love each other as Jews, I believe, should, as family does, because that's what we are. But we argue and we disagree, and that's also what our tradition teaches. Without our little corner of that world, then that voice will be missing. And the Jewish world needs our voice.
Okay. So I said to a smaller group earlier, I think in my lifetime, this is the moment of greatest need for what we offer. And I think I know for me, it's that I'm comfortable with the term religious and referring to us. I know that some are as religious as secular humanist Jews. And I know that sounds like contradiction. But the religious world needs a voice that counters the voices that are loud in the religious world now. And that voice needs to be a voice that uses critical thinking skills, that uses self-assessment, that doesn't take things at face value and yet is open-minded, that seeks solutions, right? That does all these, that looks to build relationships and understand complexity and work within nuance. All of these things that aren't uniquely Jewish and aren't uniquely us, and yet we do really, really well, are needed in a religious context, because we need to answer the things coming at us from a very different, very much more dangerous religious context. So I really believe that it's not only the Jewish world that needs us, it's the greater world that needs that voice now. And then we need each other, because we need a whole lot of stamina to keep doing what we're doing. It's making me think of the Lorax, right? I speak for the trees and everything's falling apart around them. We speak for something that's desperately, desperately needed. Everything we're singing for, Na'aseh Shalom, all of this stuff, if the world would open itself up to self-reflection, to thoughtfulness, to inquiry, we'd be in a very different place, a whole lot closer to that.
Well, this is wonderful. I hope you enjoyed. You can applaud if you want. For both, I have to say, meeting you, we had never met before. We had talked once on the phone, knowing Rabbi Werber. I know both communities, both congregations are deeply fortunate to have both of you as their rabbis, to lead into the future. We need articulate rabbis who are committed to a bold vision, who are able to speak to it, because we are living in challenging times, and the congregation in Detroit and the congregation here are fortunate to have leaders like you. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas. Thank you for being here, and thank you for giving us the friendship, because it is important to know that we have others that share our voice.
It's really special for us to have Detroit here. I'm going to do something super dangerous at a service that's too long and say, I know, right? Look how nervous he just got. I love it. Is there anything you want to add? Anything, singular. It was singular, that is important for all of us to hear?
I didn't expect that. You don't usually give me, so you don't usually do that. You don't usually ask my opinion. No, I think what you both said to the last question is absolutely crucial. The voice that we represent, the philosophy that's represented from a humanistic perspective is incredibly important, not only in the Jewish world, but in the secular world too. There is a retreat right now from reason. There's a retreat right now from critical thinking. There's a retreat right now from taking responsibility for the world in which we live and recognizing that what we hand the next generation is in our hands right now. And so having this idea spoken about boldly is incredibly important. What we are doing transcends these walls. It transcends this moment. It is about creating a future and teaching our children and our grandchildren how to deal with a complex society. So what we're doing is important, and having religious leaders, because one of the things that being rabbis affords us is we get to have certain audiences that if we were faculty members at universities, we wouldn't necessarily have. Religious leaders come with an authority that we are able to stand and talk in a particular way. So it's really important that both Rabbi Werber and Rabbi Falik are doing this, and that our congregations exist. I want to tell every member, whether you're a member of Beth Adam or the congregation in Detroit, your membership is incredibly important. Because when Rabbi Falik goes to a meeting, or Rabbi Werber goes to a meeting, or I've gone to a meeting, we represent all of you. And if we don't have people to represent, our voices are lost. When we say we have communities, that want this, it becomes incredibly important, and we can push this agenda forward. And right now we're in a struggle for maintaining a society that values secular humanistic thinking. And that's what's so important. And so glad that we were able to do this, that we can buoy each other's spirits together, knowing that we have camaraderie and community down the street, down in a different state, and we can do this together.
Thank you so much. It's nice to get to do some of the listening, so thank you very much. We're going to turn toward memory now. Our congregational custom is to read our names for our memorial monthly, but we think of all those in our hearts with each time we do our memorial. So we add the Detroit congregation to our own as we reflect back on those who have touched us. And this one I just chose just because a reflection from one of our other services this time. So this one's not, you don't have it in front of you. Now the world is different, emptier and strange, but you never leave me floating through my mind. Before you were out there, now you're in here with me. A room full of people, but when I look, I can only see them faintly beyond your face. I'm listening, but I can barely hear them on the other side of your voice. And when I speak, I hear your cadence in my voice. And when I turn my head, I feel it settle at the angle you left vacant. Now, as I reflect, I recognize your thinking, shaping my own thoughts. The world is different, and I don't need to hold on to you. You will never leave me. For those who have never left us, we join in a memorial reflection. For those who wish to rise, we rise. We're on page 10. Ein bidei amavet hakoach la'akorma shetamun balev. Death cannot take that which is locked in our hearts. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. With our courage and our strength, we do not forget. Acts of kindness, deeds of courage will remain. Beauty created, wisdom shared is not lost. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Im demaot beinenu, be'et evlenu, nishmor al zecher ahuvenu. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Zecher tzadik livracha. May the memory of good people bless our days. You may be seated.
Let Shabbat be a time for believing in what could be and seeing with new eyes. In this serious world, let us take ourselves less seriously. In these harsh times, let us listen for a soothing word. While the world around us unfolds in an instant, let us judge each other a little more slowly. Let's read this together. Let the Sabbath shine a light into a corner of ourselves where hope is renewed. Let us remember a reason to be joyful, a way to be gentle. Let Sabbath be a time for opening up. Let us find strength in our dreams and trust in our strength.
I was thinking of going with the short closing song, but at this point, right? I know. So we have a family favorite that we're trying to turn into a Beth Adam favorite. It's in Ladino, which is a combination of Spanish and Hebrew, called Buen Shabbat. It's more Spanish than Hebrew, as you'll see, and it's a joyful wish for a good Shabbat. So please join us. Then we'll have a final benediction, and we'll head into the social hall for our Oneg Shabbat, our desserts, and time to chat again. Buen Shabbat.
Shabbat, buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Buen Shabbat a toda la familia. Yararararai, 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 yararararai. Buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Años muchos, con paz y alegría. Yararararai, 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 yararararai. Buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Buen Shabbat a toda la familia.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you're a Beth Adam person, thank you for welcoming Detroit. If you're Detroit, thank you for giving us this opportunity to welcome you and for being part of our community tonight. And thank you to the Beth Adam folks who helped with setup and will be helping with cleanup and making it all possible. We appreciate all of you. I think from pretty much the beginning, these were our closing words, right?
For a long time, yes.
So we just decided it makes sense for us all to do it. So let's see what happens.
We've done these.
Oh, have you? Oh,
Yes,
good.
yes, it's lovely. May we know blessings, those who are near. May we know blessings, those who are far. May the Sabbath bring its goodness to everyone soon, wherever they are.
May we know blessings to the day, and may we know blessings to the night. May health be for our children, and all things soon be right.
May we know blessings in our comings. May we know blessings when we depart. May we live each day with peace and wisdom in each heart. Kenyehi.
Kenyehi.
Let it be. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, guys are
And you
great.
got through a long service.
You got it, yeah, I sat through a lot. This is good. I wasn't talking.
Long service.
I wasn't talking the whole week. I wasn't talking the whole week.
today.
Really? No, we used to do.
Oh, we're usually within 40 minutes. Like, this is long.